so here it is, Saturday morning at Bumping Lake, and yesterday the group that came down here found an amazing trackway. We're back down here. I wasn't with them. I had gone on another excursion. Just Yvonne and I that are down here, and we're going to be followed up shortly by the other people who were actually here. All we know is we need to walk up the beach. So we have gotten to here, and we have human tracks. There's definitely some human shoe prints here, but we also have some barefoot prints of assorted sizes. So, little one right here, very flat-footed. Yes, very flat-footed. Now, we don't know that these weren't here yesterday because we didn't come down here. You can see they move on down, and I mean, these are some really flat-footed tracks. Come back up here, but you know, this is still close to the public area. Even though that's where we found the footprints last year, we can't say these are or are not Sasquatch. Okay, so here's some smaller ones. What is that? About 8 inches. Very flat-footed. Here's another one here that actually appears to have a break. Yeah. So, yeah, very flat-footed once again, just like last year. 9 inches, about 8 inches. Yeah. So we're going to head on up the beach and get away from the more public areas and look for that trackway that was found yesterday. But I do find it interesting that here once again we have small, flat, barefoot tracks going out into the lake muck. You know, this isn't like it's a nice sandy beach. This is lake bottom muck. So, I think it's interesting.
And it's been very, very cold.
It has. It has been extremely cold.
Today's a bit the warmest.
I've actually been sleeping with one sleeping bag stuffed inside another sleeping bag, wrapped inside a blanket in that. So, yeah. Not exactly barefoot weather, but we're going to go on up the beach and find that other area that everybody was working on yesterday. Okay, so we are headed up far into the lake up there, and we've put some distance behind us here. We've stopped. We're sitting here having ourselves a little break, and just for kicks, just to make an echo, I hollered out as loud as I could, and it made a fine echo. We had a response, and you know, I don't know if there's other people out here responding or what it was, but then we just heard another howl with a big echo, and it sent. That's cool. Hello! That was cool. There ain't nobody else out here except for we did see some kayakers down by the boat launch that were headed up the lake. They're up there somewhere. It could have been them.
But it came for the woods, not the
Yeah,
water.
it did. It came
Kayaking in the
it
woods.
came from that way.
I'm just kayaking in the woods. How I like my kayaking done.
Yeah. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Right on. Should I yell again? Oh! That was a whoop.
Thank you.
That was cool. All right, well, let's head on up there. Okay, so we have found the flagging that was marked yesterday that said there were some tiny footprints here. And sure enough, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's a really good one. Look how flat-footed they are. So flat-footed. Here, you want to measure these? That's right about 8 inches again.
Same size.
Very flat-footed, narrow heel.
That one's a bit pushed in.
Yeah, these others are very deep. All right. I think
That's
that's the rest of our crew
Well,
that was
that's a
up
big
there coming
choice
from the other
there.
way. This is interesting. We're out here, you know, looking for these tracks, and there's some sticks that are stuck in the ground. And there's a few over there, back through there. Lots of sticks sticking out of the ground. Here. Over there, there's sticks sticking out of the ground all over. Not just the stumps, but...
Hey, we found more print.
We did too! So here we've found another trackway of small prints here in this deep muck. You're kind of in the shadow, I can't see that on camera. So you can see they're deeper in the toe than they are in the heel. Very long and narrow.
Okay, this is smaller.
That's about 8 inches. That's what we were finding down the beach.
The print that we casted was 12.
Cool. So what's the distance between these steps? Okay, so the 8-inch footprints from heel to heel.
Right.
Yep. To right here. Nope. Heel to heel. Here.
Yeah.
So that's
32?
32 inches heel to heel. 32-inch step. So what is it between this heel and that heel? So we know where the stride was. No, leave that in there.
Oh, here, May, hold this for me. I know it might stay there, but then I don't.
Okay. Now the heel of that one is about 56 inches.
57.
57-inch stride.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Okay. Now, let's see you try and walk beside those. Yeah, you're stretching.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's not impossible, but you're stretching.
Yeah, and for them to be tiny, I mean,
Yeah, they're small.
this is the size shoe she wears.
Okay, let's see you do
So,
it. You are
that is a
struggling.
Perfect. That's great to
Yes,
have her.
that's perfect. Yeah, that's not an easy walk, is it? Huh. Okay, cool. Well, let's go find the Bigfoot prints.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we got here?
That's
Yeah,
a
Gabby,
12
you gotta move. You're blocking
12
the light.
inches.
Holy cow, look at the big toe on that.
And the width.
Yeah. So I think we're into the bigger tracks they were talking about. So that toe alone is almost 2.5 inches long.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Actually,
Going on
it's
3 inches long. Wow.
3 inches and 2 inches wide.
Wow, that's pretty good. And it really slopes away back this way. All right, well, let's keep going. I'm gonna find something we want to cast.
Just the one I was been looking down. That's the
I
only
think
one
maybe
I see.
that right there is the next one, right here.
Yeah, you might be right.
Right
It
here.
might have washed away a little bit.
Yeah,
Is that
actually,
right?
there's a
Just
little bit
that?
of dermal ridge in there. If you
Oh,
look
you're
at that.
right. Huh? Big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up or not. But
If
yeah,
someone
they
walked
are
in
there.
it, it would have been perfect to cast if someone hadn't walked in it.
Yeah, somebody stepped on it.
Dang.
Yeah, look at the
Just look
ridges
at
in
that
there.
Distance on those.
Yeah, I'll hold this one. From
Got it?
heel to heel
It.
is 44
40
inches.
and a half.
44 and a half inches.
Stride. Woo!
No, that would be step. The stride would
Stride.
be
I mean
to
step.
the
I'm
next
sorry.
one.
Yeah. So watch
I
out,
don't
Addie.
see okay, here's the next one right here.
see.
There's a
Move!
partial that also has dermal ridges.
Wow.
There's
I'm
the
gonna try
toes. Right there. It was partly on this, so we've only got a partial, but that we've got enough here to get a
Ready?
stride. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, there you are trying to match those steps. Awesome. Okay, now let's measure from this one, the heel of this one, to the heel of that one. So now we've got,
Hey, move that big rock out of the way.
so from heel of the
Perfect. Thank you.
left foot to heel of the left foot is
83 inches.
83 inches. That is amazing. That is awesome.
That's a big
Okay, now Rob, before you get up,
Yes.
take a closer look at this. Look at the dermal ridges in there.
Yeah. One. Oh my. You can. Yeah, you can see. Plain as
Yeah.
day. Plain as day.
That is awesome.
And
Very
that is
cool.
no shoe.
No, it is not.
No shoe.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh.
that is definitely.
You know, I'm going to get
Should
an
be a big
awesome
toe.
screenshot out of you posing like that. Very cool. Well, let's go on up. We must be close to where they started casting here.
Right, oh look, flag.
Where?
There.
Oh, flagging. All right, well, let's head out there. All right, so try not to
She'll stand
cast
on
a shadow on these. But you can see. Oh, Gabby. Gabby. Come here. Come here. Okay. You can see this trackway, how in line it is going out across there. How perfect that is. So straight. And you see the little pile of wood there. That's where one of yesterday's cast tracks is concealed underneath there. Interesting.
Here's a big
I wonder if we
Fire
left that.
No, there's a
Got a
footprint
rock
right
in the
here
middle.
too, Barbara. Looks
Bum.
like there's the
See,
top of
see,
the
like, if
toes
you were
in
sitting
there.
in your bum
Yeah.
and you were like breaking something between your legs,
Oh,
if we left that, would there be shell under it?
I don't know. Look under
Will
it.
it stand in it?
See what's under it.
It would need to stand on it.
There we go.
Nope, just sitting there.
So there might be. You
I
know,
think it's just some kind of a marker, maybe.
Huh.
Or glyph, or... Wow.
Sandy something. Yeah.
How is that for a view? I love those cloud formations where they're just kind of creeping up over there.
sky's so clear over here.
Yeah.
Hardly a bit of light.
Yeah, God bless Bob. He went all the way down there. He was gone in a half flash. Went
Wow.
all the way down there and over that way
Wow.
to track that track. That goes all the way. Very cool. What a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
Like the best day.
It's okay. Yeah. I can try that out.
So it's about 11 and a half.
Yeah, close to 12. Really close.
But the stride is
Can
incredible.
we see how deep it is at the toe?
Okay, so
It's about 3.5 inches deep, and the width is 5.5.
bless
Five
your
and a
heart.
half inches wide.
Okay, so somebody
on.
answer me
So-
this question.
We need to get you out.
I wanna-
Gabby.
Can we see how hard it is to make this step? And how tall are you?
6'1".
Right on.
Can you get
Are you stuck?
Okay. So what I'd like to know,
Come up there, Sam.
Whoa!
That's awesome.
Wait, I had a counterbalance right here. to bring me forward.
Nothing like squashing with Santa Claus.
No squatch is gonna get the best of me.
why would he take a stride that's only 2 feet and then make that big, huge?
That looks like almost a human one, doesn't it?
Running?
Maybe you did a leap.
Or
something. I mean, if
Yeah.
that's
Went
the,
like
if that's the
this and
same
then-
guy. If that's
Yeah.
the same guy.
So if
Maybe
this
it's
is
just
a
close.
right toe, let's look at this toe.
It changed direction. Maybe it's because the date.
So this
It was a
is
point where they
this looks
changed
like a right
direction.
foot,
Yes.
and this looks like a right foot.
Okay, so that would be stride.
So the left foot here,
There's
is
Might
right
have been
there.
2 of them.
Yeah.
See how
Two
this
separate.
is so shallow?
right.
So he might have somewhere in here.
Well, look, he was
So
starting.
that was his stride.
Sprint.
Was the
Starting to sprint.
Well, maybe he was starting. I'm sucking in.
Here's the next
Jump.
one.
Yeah.
yeah? See, that's the thing. They just kind of are right here.
Well, is there one right up there?
And there's nothing else. It's degraded so much. that-
Yeah, they're pretty
This
old.
is one here. You can see his toes where his toes were in back.
Yeah. But what is so
see,
telling is that they're so deep at the toe end.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The person with the toes.
You're fine.
Right on.
Red. Red in the middle.
Okay, so these aren't brand new. These are a little old. But look at that. That is 6.5 inches long. Oh, darn. And about 1.5 inches wide at the heel. How's that for cool? Thank you. 2.5 inches wide at the toe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Inch and a half wide at the heel.
And if that was a human child, they wouldn't have the stability to go
No,
in this.
And there's more. They go. They're not new. They are worn. But see here. This one here, you can see how the toes pushed in, how deep that is at the toe end. That's 3 inches deep, as opposed to the heel here, which is an inch. So if we go from the toe where it landed in there to the heel, that's 6.5 inches wide. Here it's about 2 inches without the slippage. It's hard to say, but about 2.5 inches up there. So these are just amazing tiny little footprints. And what's so telling is how deep they are at the toe and how narrow they are at the heel. Here's another one. Look at that.
The weight as well. Look how much my boot is sunken. Look how deep that is.
Yeah.
So the other thing that's really interesting, we're talking about the step. So if I step it, so here's my step, this step, this step, this step, this step, you know.
And that would be, you know, your feet are twice the size of whoever created those.
For such a little
Yeah.
little print, that's
That's a big one.
It is.
See, right here it's still got some toe definition down in there. Yeah, they've just been out here playing in the muck. You can see here, once again, with an extremely narrow heel. The toes went down in there. They were just playing out here.
Cooling down.
Yep. Frolicking in the muck.